All right, hello everybody. This is a live stream I wasn't originally planning to do this evening, but we'll talk about some news events. Israel, Kilauea, McDowell County, North Carolina. Some things that are happening. We'll follow some breaking news, at least news that is purported to be breaking news. We'll follow that, and we'll keep track of all those things, folks. Welcome aboard if you're out there. Just pop in the chat and say hi. I'm going to get to it here in just a minute. Say hello if you're out there. If you're not out there, say hello too. Either way, say hello. Right now there's nobody to say hello, but I'm going to get going anyway. We're going to start over here and look at something. Let's see here. Let's see right here. What do we have going on here? Now, the Syrian Arab Army Tiger Forces Division have arrived in southern Syria for the massive Daraa offensive. Okay, and that's a significant buildup of regime forces continues in the region as operation commencement nears, and we'll have to see what happens with that. We are going to talk about Kilauea. The Hawaii volcano eruption, locals just hours from being stranded as lava speeds into village. We're going to be following this. We have had this event here, developing Israeli warplane reportedly flying along Syrian-Lebanese border. So we're going to do a little on that as well. We've got all manner of things here as we will things heat up again. With Israel and Syria and the incoming missiles, I should say, from Gaza tonight. Will this be a repeat of last night? And I'm looking right here. Israel restores electricity to Gaza after a missile hit the electrical compound responsible for providing it to Gaza. So we have that. We have a number of things we're going to be looking at here. We're going to do this for a time. We'll see what happens. I'm going to just take a quick look at something here. Again, if you're out there, Amy C., welcome aboard. Amy C. is not out there. If you're out there, come in here. How does that sound? If you're out there, come on in here. And let's talk about first this event right here. Hawaii volcano eruption, locals just hours from being stranded as lava speeds into village. Now, Hawaii locals have been told to evacuate immediately as fast-moving lava from the Kilauea volcano eruption threatens to engulf entire neighborhoods within hours. Residents in the Leilani area, and again, this has been a frequent, an area of frequent impact there, are being ordered to leave their homes immediately as the lava spreads down Highway 132. Shelters have been set up at community centers and churches in the area. A civil defense spokesman said residents on Nani Farms Road and Hale Kamahina Road, if I pronounce that correctly, need to evacuate immediately. Now, shelters are open at the Pahoa Community Center, Kiao Community Center, and Shure Foundation Church. Now, a second update at 1:30 a.m. local time. So this was earlier today. These people are being told to get away from the Leilani estates again. And this is quite an image right here. If this isn't going to blow up for us, though, but you can maybe see that right there. You can see that the fire that's in that lava actually reflecting off those clouds there. Quite a spectacular sight, but yet it's not a spectacular sight if you're within a few feet of it, or maybe a short distance away from it. So we have that happening. Now, what else do we have going on here? We've got, are we going to have another round of action tonight between Israel and the Gaza Strip? Are there going to be more missiles fired in? This is something I'm keeping an eye on. Seek First is here. Welcome aboard, Seek First. Good to have you in here as well. Again, I've been keeping track of several different news sources as to what might be happening. We had a lot of equipment. I was live streaming last night, and there was a lot of equipment, including armored personnel carriers, that were moving into southern Israel last evening as though they were staging. So now we have this that has popped up. A developing story: Israeli warplane reportedly flying along Syrian-Lebanese border. Hang on one moment while I get a sip of water. And okay, so at approximately 11:30 p.m. Damascus time. Okay, so that wasn't really all that long ago. An Israeli warplane was allegedly spotted flying along the Syrian border with Lebanon, a local source reported. Now, according to the source, the Israeli warplane entered Lebanese airspace from northern Galilee and made its way toward the Bekaa Valley near the Syrian border. The source added that the Israeli warplane did not cross over into Syria, despite stalking the border for several minutes. Now, this goes on to say here that Israeli warplanes typically take this route to bomb Syria, and given the fact that their last few attacks were carried out at night, that's why, as we are, it's well into the night there now. The latest flight raises some questions, and again, there was staging of assets last evening. Of course, we had all those warnings, coming over the phone app that allows you, if you live in that area, and actually others outside that area can have a phone app that alerts you to incoming. And there were all these warnings last night, some of which may have been false alarms. That was per the IDF too, but there were all these warnings coming in of incoming. There were lots of mortars and rockets coming in from the Gaza last night. Now Israel struck 25 targets in the Gaza. And we'll take a quick look right here at this. You can see this video right here. Again, this looks like the stuff we used to watch when we were watching the Gulf War on cable news. This is one of those strikes last night. You can see that right there. Again, it's not in living Technicolor. It's in varying shades of black and white, but you can see right there the impact. That was one of those strikes on a Syrian, or I should say a Hamas or Hezbollah, probably equipment storage facility or other such thing. So we had that taking place. And again, watching for potentially more of that. Now, before I move on to another topic here, I'm just going to pop over here for a second. One moment, please. Come on now. There we go. And let's see what we have taking place as far as chat goes. I like to acknowledge everybody, and I don't want to miss anybody in here. So far, it's Amy C and Seek First. If you're lurking out there on this live feed of mine, if you're watching, pop in the chat, say hi, let me know you're here. I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to be covering a few different news topics. We're of course very keen on what might take place over in the Middle East, if anything, tonight, involving Israel, involving the Gaza Strip, potentially Syrian troops or maybe Iranian troops. Again, there was quite an exchange last evening, and I covered it for a few hours. And we had a few notable people that popped in the chat that know a little something about that. So it was a very, very interesting time. Okay, so I'm gonna pop back out here again, and we showed you that. Let's talk about this event that also I did a video on this morning. Lake Tahoma in McDowell County, North Carolina. Now, there was an evacuation early this morning because there was concern of the dam on Lake Tahoma coming down because of weather-related issues. Just before 12:30 a.m. Wednesday, McDowell County Emergency Management reported the lake's dam was an imminent failure. And Since that time, these evacuations have been canceled, so they have deemed that that situation is not dire anymore. So that's good news for those people in that neck of the woods. And again, we have Kilauea, we have lava in the Lalani Estates, and did I pronounce that correctly? At Lalani, I think it was. The trouble with some of these sites is that they're so loaded with advertisements and stuff that it almost looks like you're looking at a copy of the National Enquirer as you're standing in the grocery line. This was the Leilani Estates. Residents are being ordered out of their homes in the Leilani Estates. You know, I thought there already was an evacuation there, but evidently not. So I'm keeping track of that as well. What's going to happen with this warplane? What's going to happen? Are Israeli troops just stalking? Are they stalking as is described in this article? Are they basically setting the scene for maybe some more incursions tonight, some more retaliatory moves, or is this going to be a quiet night where little or nothing takes place? That's always a possibility too. It seems like we're on the verge of some major military event where Israel and her neighbors there are concerned, and that could lead to the fulfillment of various biblical prophecies. But we'll have to wait and see. Certainly we, some of us here, I know, that are on proverbial pins and needles. So we've also had a 4.5 magnitude earthquake centered at Kilauea Summit, and there was also a shallow 4 point something quake in California. If I could find that again, it might have gone by. Let's check over here and see if there's anything other than Harvey Weinstein. Okay. Let's not be concerned about Harvey Weinstein and all of that tawdry business. And again, voiceovers, indie music, digital marketing. Yes, I need to be doing voiceovers. I've tried to get work doing voiceovers. We don't even care about you, Harvey. We're not going to look at that right now. That's not of interest to us. We have what I believe to be more important things that we are trying to keep track of here. I check this tag every now and again. Again, most of what goes up in here I wouldn't consider to be breaking news. Again, you can use this hashtag for anything you want. There's nobody regulating it. But it's good to look because I have found some very significant news just by scrolling through here. So, all right, yeah, we have that. So again, probably nothing taking place there. But I want to keep you all engaged out there, however many may be in here right now. Again, it's early evening. This may not be the best time to be doing this, but this is the time that I can do this right now. So let me pop back over here on the social side for a moment, and we'll take attendance. And there's something else I want to look at anyway, so I'm going to do that. We've got ABC, we've got Truth Freeze, we've got Seek First and Sam King. Welcome aboard, all of you. We're not going to be talking about Roseanne. We're not going to be talking about Harvey Weinstein. You know, the Italian economy, Truth Freeze, is on the verge of collapse. Venezuela just continues to be in this free fall. I'm surprised it hasn't completely fallen. North Carolina was a scare, but that evacuation has been canceled. You know, there's, but I'm very keen also on what's taking place with Israel, the Gaza Strip, Syria, and Iran right now. Again, we had a lot of activity there last night, and I was live streaming on that for a few hours. Again, I did not plan to. I have not been sleeping well lately. I am very tired, and I was hoping it was going to be an early night to bed. Wasn't. Nope. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. So, with that, folks, welcome aboard, all of you. Shout outs to all of you, and you know that I will shout you out frequently and with gusto. Just getting a look. If you're out there, if you're out there, you may not be really out there, okay? When I say out there, I mean literally out there in the live stream watching, not out there mentally. All right. Pop in, say hi, let me know you're there. I greatly appreciate you being here. Again, before I jump over, I see one of my tabs here has had some new updates, so we're going to jump over there in just a minute. and get a look at that. But again, the link to my new fiction book, Light, a Wayfarer Story, is below if you're not familiar with that. If you're watching world events, especially where America could be concerned, maybe today, maybe in the short-term future, it's fiction that you will like, and I'm not sure how fictional it really is. There's some stuff that happens in that story, stuff that I could foresee really happening, absolutely. There's also the super chat if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, or maybe today a package of Swedish fish. Something like that, I don't know. That's entirely up to you, and there's no pressure. I'm not twisting anybody's arm. But come on, buy my book. All right, okay, folks. The Kindle's only $1.99. Paperback's only $7.99. So with that, let me jump out here. There's something I want to check here because I am waiting for things to happen. I am waiting for things to happen. Okay, again, this is on the Syrian Arab Army divisions, brigades, and allied paramilitary groups that will be fighting in the massive Daraa offensive. This is an infographic right here. Okay, again, this is maybe a little hard to understand, but this is something we need to be watching in Syria right here. Swallowing some more water. Again, this could somehow affect things to do with Israel. These are all Syrian Arab Army divisions. That's harder to say than you might think. Brigades and allied paramilitary groups that will be fighting in the massive Daraa offensive. Okay, so you've got all of this here, including Republican Guard. You've got paramilitaries, the Liwa al-Quds, just all manner of a pending event in Syria. Have to see what happens with this. Again, Middle East, very important to watch. I'm sure that you folks, I don't need to tell you that. You already know that. I'm going to refresh this and see if there's anything new. Again, Israeli warplane reportedly flying along Syrian-Lebanese border. If there's anything that's changed on this before we jump back out to Kilauea and maybe Lake Tahoma. You know, we're running around the world right now. We're bouncing all over the world, folks. From this little live stream right here, this intimate little group that we have, we're running all over the world. We're bouncing from place to place to place. And right now, we're in Beirut, Lebanon, where at approximately 11:30 p.m. Damascus time, an Israeli warplane was allegedly spotted flying along the Syrian border with Lebanon, a local source reported. Now, according to that source, the Israeli warplane entered Lebanese airspace from northern Galilee and made its way toward the Bekaa Valley near the Syrian border. Now, the source added that the Israeli warplane did not cross over into Syria despite stalking the border for several minutes. So, picking targets maybe, getting ready for an offensive. These are certainly things we need to watch. And again, as was mentioned in the chat a moment ago, Lake Tahoma deemed safe, evacuation order canceled, McDowell County officials say. Again, I did that video this morning about these evacuations, and then I had to put up a comment saying that that these evacuations have since been canceled. It's amazing how many thumbs down that video got. I wonder if they were thumbing me down or just thumbing down because they were unhappy that there were evacuations. You know, people will thumb you down for the strangest reasons, and I don't really keep track. I'm always interested. Okay, I gotta confess, I'm always interested in how many thumbs down I get on a video or a live stream, and there seems to be someone out there lately that's immediately thumbing down the video of my live streams. Probably somebody just doesn't like me or what I stand for, or maybe they don't like my t-shirts, or maybe they think my nose is too big or something. I don't know, but they just don't seem to like me. But that's okay, because I probably don't like them either. Now, all right. Yeah, so there, yeah. Okay, seriously, folks, enough screwing around. There's nothing happening right there. There's nothing happening right there. I don't care about basketball. I don't care about lawyers that become millionaires okay, yeah, I don't care about lawyers becoming millionaires, okay? That's beside the point, and I think we all get that. Going to jump over here for a second, folks, and then we're going to talk about Kilauea again. You know, again, I'm on pins and needles of sorts, waiting for something to take place involving the Israeli Defense Forces, involving Syria potentially, Gaza Strip. I'm expecting this. I know there are others that are expecting this. and we were watching this last night. But for the moment, and maybe it'll happen after I finally go to bed and get some sleep. I don't know. But let's see what we have going on here. We've got Truth Freeze. We've got Amy C. We have had Sam King and Seek First. Welcome aboard, all of you. Again, you're talking about some. You're talking about chicken. You're talking about Hillary. From meat packages. The Italian economy again is about to collapse. That's something I think, unfortunately, that the average American probably wouldn't care about, because that's Italy. That's not America. And maybe in Italy they couldn't care less about what Americans think anyway. But there's a lot of things going on. There is so much going on. I'm trying to focus on about 4 of them right now. And there are everything you're posting there, folks, and I appreciate you doing that, are all worthwhile topics, worthwhile looking at, and maybe before I'm done here, I will jump over and have a look. But there's actually, before I jump over here, I have to see something else, okay? So bear with me a moment, and it's something that's secret that you can't see. All right, and now it's just my live dashboard. I don't think you're going to find that all that interesting. If you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I see the numbers are growing a little bit. Again, it's still a very intimate gathering, as I fully expected that it would be, but count yourself amongst a very select group, okay, that you're in here right now. And if you would, just even if you don't want to participate in the chat, that's fine. Whenever I watch a live stream, I generally don't. I just lurk, I watch, I listen. But pop in, just say hi, that's all. Just say hello, say hi, Jim, shut up, Jim. Whatever, Jim. You can ask me about my hat back there, or about my Telecaster back there, or whatever if you want to. But we're talking news. I welcome you all aboard. Again, I encourage you to participate. You don't be bashful. Most everybody that participates in my chat, they are good folks. They're good folks. They will be kind to you, unless you're a troll. If you're a troll, well, they may... I don't have any wrenches. I am the wrench right now. I was actually thinking... there's a couple of you that pop up out there that I may ask you to be wrenches if you are interested. Again, it can't be everybody. Everybody can't be a wrench, and maybe not everybody wants to be a wrench, and certainly that's a great responsibility when you're wrenching for me, because you never know when I'm going to pop in here. But I'd like to get a few wrenches together as I sense this thing might grow. And I have actually one individual in mind already that I would like to wrench for me. But right now, I don't need any wrenches, I don't think. So having said all of that, welcome aboard. Let's move on. Enough of me running my mouth about wrenches and the like. We're going over here to talk about Kilauea. Why do we have to keep looking at Meghan Markle? I don't care about Meghan Markle either. Again, it's just some of these sources that we use for news. I mean, again, it's like looking at a copy of the National Enquirer or the Globe or whatever that you find along the grocery checkout, or if you're in Dollar General or wherever you may be, you see all these papers. And this is what this looks like to me. This is basically the online an online facsimile of the National Enquirer. I don't care. Let me show you about everything I don't care about, okay? Just because you might be interested. I don't care about Meghan Markle. I don't care about her breaking royal protocol. Couldn't care less. Now, I care about Kilauea. Hawaii volcano eruption. Locals just hours from being stranded as lava speeds into village. Again, this is the Leilani Estates, and we've heard that. We've heard that that area mentioned. Those of us who are paying attention to Kilauea and its eruptions, and all of the fissures that are erupting. Again, this is the volcano that just keeps on giving, folks. Well, residents in Leilani Estates, that's kind of a tongue twister, are being ordered to leave their homes immediately as the lava spreads down Highway 132. But you know what? Being that I'm here, okay, Truth Freeze. There it is. It's linked right there. Let's hop over and get a look at this, okay? It's linked right there. Now, come on for Papa. You can do it. Come on, Spectrum. Give it up. Give it up for Papa. Europe banks alert Turkey on brink of collapse. Okay, that's Turkey. As lira plummets, threatening euro crisis. And again, this is from today. This isn't Italy. But again, this is another situation that is certainly worth watching. European banks fear the dramatic crash of the Turkish lira. Again, this could be a significant event, especially where the EU is concerned. And it could spark a crisis reminiscent of the one that hit Wall Street financial institutions 20 years ago. And speaking of that, there's going to be another one that's going to hit Wall Street. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say something very morbid. People will die because of it. It's going to be that serious. That's all I'm going to say. Wall Street, enjoy it. Enjoy it right now while the money's fast and furious in the stocks, or the stalks, as the experts say. Buy more stocks. Must be I read too much Zero Hedge, huh? But I love the comments on Zero Hedge, by the way. In some of the articles, the comments are just hysterical. A lot of them are put up by very intelligent people with very witty senses of humor, and I like that. Now, as of last week, the lira was down 17% against the U.S. dollar for the year, spooking global investors, spooking them, as many banks have borrowed money on Turkish companies. So I think I'm trying to get to the point of this, and again, for some reason at first I thought it was Italy, but this is another situation that the Turkish lira is in serious crisis right now, and you know there could be a blowback. Whenever the world is such right now, folks, there's such a high level of interconnectivity, which again, you know, you are smart out there. You're probably smarter than I am. If one thing happens one place financially, there will be ripples around. It's not just going to be contained like maybe it would have been 30 years ago or 20 years ago. It's going to be a big hurt, and it's going to spread. So that's something that could be of interest to us. And again, I'm going to pop back over to Kilauea, and then we're going to move on to other things. Because again, I am on pins and needles waiting for the possibility that there may be another round of boom booms tonight where Israel and the Gaza Strip are concerned. All right, okay, so I feel like it's my duty and it's my privilege. It's a privilege more than a duty to quickly pop back over on the social side here, get a look at the chat, see what you folks are talking about. You're all out there talking behind my back. Well, I can't see you. I know you are. John Jones, welcome aboard. You're new here, old school warrior.
That's
welcome aboard. All right gone. All my peeps are here now. All gone.
Waiting to the
warrior,
last second to get out.
Emily,
a group of men watching
a wrench.
and
What is a wrench? A
recording
wrench is
this
a moderator.
Hawaiian neighborhood transforming
Whenever
into
you
a
see a
virtual
moderator
hellscape.
in a chat on a live stream, you'll see like a blue
Smoke,
wrench next
lava,
to
and fire
their,
engulfing a home as a fast-moving
to
flow
their
destroys
icon.
everything in its path.
Right
is that
now,
the house or is that the trampoline?
That's the house.
I'm
From
running
inside,
wrench-free
the ground
because I really haven't had
orange,
too much
a
trouble
wave
with
of lava
trolls.
pushing
Sometimes
closer.
I enjoy the trolls.
No, I hate seeing that burn.
From the rooftop,
my video just
the
turned
lava
on.
swallowing
Jim?
trucks.
Video as me or video
and structures.
can't hear me.
Burning.
Before the house is finally
is it true? 'Cause
overtaken.
According to what I'm looking at right here,
From the sky,
I'm good.
entire
Can you
neighborhoods
folks hear me
surrounded
or no?
as lava flows freely through the streets with
Pop-
homes
pop up
bursting
in the
into
chat there and
flames.
let me know if you can hear me, because from what I'm seeing, oh, dang it, I hate that. Hang on one second. It's these stupid. It's this one right here. Yeah, it's these, again, these sites that are so buggy that eventually, if they have a video in them, it's going to start playing no matter what. And I like to leave the my computer audio on in case we want to watch something and listen to it. But you know what? We're getting out of there for the time being, because I just don't want that site popping up, and I can probably wing it without that being open. So thank you for pointing that out to me, you folks. Again, I could mute my computer audio, but I don't want to, because I'm afraid I'm going to forget to turn it back on, and then it'll create a situation. So let me jump back over here for a second before we move on. I do not have that playing now. Gosh, I do apologize to you. I didn't expect that it was going to start playing. Again, it's a lot of these websites now, folks, as you know, they're all loaded with video, and they may not be playing when you get there, but I think they're programmed maybe with timers. They're going to start playing, and there. So that one's gone. Okay. All right, so it was a lava vid. Yeah, we were talking about lava. Kilauea still belching the stuff, and the Leilani Estates they are being told to evacuate from there again. I thought they already evacuated, but evidently there's still people hanging around in there, and they have been told to evacuate because of further eruptions coming or taking place right now. And again, if you had followed this earlier, I don't have it blown up very large, but Lake Tahoma deemed safe, evacuation order canceled, McDowell County officials say. So that evacuation has been canceled. Maybe that's why so many people were giving me thumbs down on the video I made earlier. Maybe because, hey, stupid, the evacuation was canceled and you didn't say anything about it. Well, you know, I mean, I'm a busy guy, okay? I can't be keeping track of every evacuation everywhere around the world, by golly. I would like to be. But we're going to look at this again, too, because more of you have jumped in since I last looked at this, and I'm wondering if this is going to update. Some of you were with me last evening when we were watching the events with Israel and the Gaza Strip and the mortars and rockets that were coming into Israel, all of those frenetic warnings hitting the phone apps for all those people in all those cities, the air raid sirens going off. And as it turned out, okay, maybe some of that was false alarms, but a lot of military action took place last night in Israel. And when I left you last night, we were seeing pictures of armaments being moved into the southern part of Israel. We were looking at trucks carrying armored personnel carriers. So generally, when you see those things, they're staging up for something on the ground. So, I just drank some water, okay? Listen, this is what you can do. Can't do it. I was going to gargle for you, but okay, I'm going to act mature now. I'm a mature news reporter. I'm not some kid. Israeli warplane reportedly flying along Syrian Lebanese border. This is from just a little while ago, maybe a few hours ago. Now, Beirut, Lebanon. That was as of 11:40 p.m. their time, at approximately 11:30 p.m. Damascus time. So you got to figure about 6 hours ahead of Eastern time here in the U.S. If I'm maybe it's 6 to 7 hours. I'm not going to go looking right now and measure it exactly. I can do that. I can Google it and find out. But we can estimate 6 to 7 hours. So a couple hours ago, an Israeli warplane was allegedly spotted flying along the Syrian border with Lebanon, a local source reported. According to the source, the Israeli warplane entered Lebanese airspace from northern Galilee and made its way toward the Bekaa Valley near the Syrian border. And again, was it just what they call stalking? Was it scoping out the area for the possibility of maybe some incursions tonight, or was it just maybe it was reconning? That we don't know, because nothing further has developed on this. Now, I've got some good sources that I like to look at for news pertaining to that area of the world, and well, this is not related to Israel. This is worth looking at here. A NOTAM and navigation warnings in force around Cyprus for Thursday the 31st of May, which is tomorrow, a Russian Navy exercise off the Syrian coast. Now again, this is worth looking at. This is worth watching. A NOTAM, again, is basically, I forgot exactly what the acronym stands for, but it's a notification to any planes that will be flying through that area that there's going to be things that could cause them harm taking place in this area. That's basically what a NOTAM warning is. It's an advisement to anyone who may be flying through that area that they could get struck by something. So maybe they might want to stay away from there if they don't have to fly through there. That's what a NOTAM is. Okay. And then we have over 1,000 U.S. tanks, APCs, artillery units, and other vehicles arrive in Europe for massive NATO war games near Russian borders to coincide with the Football World Cup being hosted by Russia. Okay, so again, this was originally tweeted by Murad Gazdiev from RT.com, a site you're familiar with. And so while we have all of this equipment arriving, this actually was from the 24th. Okay, but now we have, as of tomorrow, we have a Russian Navy exercise off the Syrian coast, surface to 66,000 feet. So this NOTAM was issued to advise anyone who was going to be flying through that area that you might get shot down. So that's taking place. Meanwhile, we had just a few days ago all this stuff. Again, over 1,000 U.S. tanks, APCs, artillery units, and other vehicles arrive in Europe for massive NATO war games near Russian borders. I mean, again, I don't believe in coincidences. Again, you know, so many things pop up and then they cool down. But the timing, you've got all that material that arrived in Europe for these massive NATO war games near Russia's borders, and then you have Russia setting up for Navy exercises off the coast of Syria at the same time. It just seems to me, folks, like somebody is pissing for a war. It just does. And again, we have this southern Syrian offensive to begin soon as Syrian. Why don't we? I mean, I already had this page open once. Let's take a jump over here and get a look at this article. If we can't. No, not a new window. Dang it. Don't do that. Behave yourself. Okay, let's see if we can get a look at this article and catch up on this. Again, because we're dealing with such a high level of tension right now in that area. Southern Syria. Hey, how did I do that? Southern Syria offensive to begin soon as Syria Army's elite division heads to Daraa. Okay, now, can I just tell you something funny, folks, before we get into serious news here? Out of the corner of my eye, I saw this image right here, Frontline Reports, this advertisement. I thought that was a waffle right there. That was a waffle. You know, if you want to buy me some waffles in the Super Chat, go right ahead. I love waffles. And if I wish that Barf245 or Old School Warrior, if you're still out there, would put up some images of waffles for me in the chat. That would be great. The Syrian Arab armies, that's the SAA, their long-awaited southern Syria offensive is scheduled to begin within the coming weeks as one of their leading forces heads to Dara's governorate. Now, according to the latest reports, the Syrian Arab Army's elite Tiger forces are slated to make their way from western Syria to the Dara's governorate in the coming days. The Tiger forces have been tasked with retaking the southern part of the provincial capital, which has long been under the control of the Free Syrian Army, which is supported by the United States and their jihadist allies. Again, the U.S. is supporting those who are against Bashar al-Assad. Now, while the Tiger forces retake the provincial capital, the Syrian Army's 4th Division will be leading a two-front assault that will be concentrated on the Al-Qunitra governorate. Gosh, that's hard to say. Al-Qunitra governorate. Can you say that? Sure. Oh, look, here comes Trolley. Okay, enough of that. And I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to report serious news, and here I am doing Mr. Rogers. El Qunitra Governorate and the Nasib Crossing in southern Daraa. So we have essentially the Syrian Arab armies elite are preparing to take some turf back from the Syrian Free Army, which is supported by the U.S. So you have another case of where Russia, which is backing Bashar al-Assad, Assad's forces, going to toe-to-toe do battle and take back the El Qunitra Governorate and the Nasib Crossing in southern Daraa from the Syrian Free Army, which is tacitly, or maybe not so tacitly, supported by the U.S. So again, kind of a proxy war, you might say. Somewhat of a proxy war taking place over there between the U.S. and Russia. Now maybe we have something new here. Again, I'm expecting maybe something involving Israel. Okay. John Bolton, remember him? John Bolton hires top staffer from conspiracy-obsessed, anti-Muslim, okay, so doesn't sound important. I'm conspiracy obsessed, okay, so maybe I take that personally. I don't know. I'm going to pop back over here, folks. Again, I was fully expecting that specific things were going to be happening, and maybe they will be. Maybe they will be. But I got to pop over on the social side again and take attendance, see what's going on over here, see what's going on with all of you good people, who's out here, Squelch is in the house. Welcome aboard, Squelch. Emily's in here. Old school warrior has got me some eggs and some gears. Okay, all right. And Nordic Sun, Jesus told us to have no fear, that these things have to happen. These things are, many of them are related to prophecy. Have no fear. Do not be given over to the spirit of fear, but instead of the power of love and of a sound mind that comes through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I always say that. Now, Emily, that's a good information. Dura is in the south of Syria near South Israel. South Israel, where we had a beefing up of equipment last night. Okay, we had, as you were here, Emily, watching this with us. They were moving armored personnel carriers into that area last night. A lot of things seem to be loosely connected here, maybe like Lego pieces that aren't snapped together very tightly. That's what pancakes. Oh my gosh, you distracted me. Yeah, I love pancakes. Oh man, thank you, Amy. And old school warrior, what did you? I just not the tree, okay, not the tree. We don't need to see that tree with the face again. Hopefully I don't encounter that anywhere. I have not seen the tree. That's what all the backdoor Iran-Israel negotiations were about. And again, we know that Iran and Israel are not friends. They are not friends, and Bible prophecy would indicate written prophecy that there's going to be a move by Iran and Russia and others on Israel, and we know that God's going to knock that down when it happens. So the hardware was on the way to Gaza from South. See, am I confusing things, Emily? Because again, I've looked at so much stuff in the last 24 hours. What we have basically in that entire region is a beefing up for conflict. That's what we're looking at here. We're beefing up for conflict. And again, Israel, God's prophetic timepiece. God's prophetic timepiece. That's what we're watching. And what is that all gone? Rumor has it Iran and Hezbollah movement during Hamas rocket attacks. Yes, very likely, very likely. We have a lot of things staging. Some things seen and some things unseen. You Europeans are good in maps. I'm good with maps too. I wasn't looking at one. I like maps and legends. I like maps a lot. I'm always mapping out fishing places. I'm always mapping out old roads and old paths that go into places. I'm always mapping. I'm always mapping highways. I love to map. I love maps. Just like Dora the Explorer had, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. All right, don't ask me where I got that from, folks. So let's not talk about Dora the Explorer or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, okay? A map. Can I just say one thing before I go back to serious business here, folks? If any of you are familiar with Dora the Explorer and Swiper, just once I wanted to see Swiper get away with it. I wanted to see Swiper swipe something and get away with it. And you know what else? Okay, I don't want to lose anybody in the live stream because I'm talking goofy stuff. I'm going to get back to serious news here in a minute. Wile E. Coyote. Wile E. Coyote, that poor guy. Just once, I wanted to see him grab that Roadrunner by the throat. I wanted to see him get the Roadrunner. I'm so sick. And you know, also too, I want to see Tom catch Jerry. I want to see Tom eat Jerry. I'm so sick of Jerry always winning, and I'm so tired of the Roadrunner always winning, and I was so tired of seeing Swiper never get away with swiping. I'm a defender of the underdog. I defend the underdog. If I'm watching a sporting event like a football game, two teams I don't care about, I'm going to root for the underdog. Okay? I am the underdog. I am the underdog, definitely, and I say that with a degree of pride, I suppose. But now enough of that, because I don't want to lose people that are here looking for serious information. So we're going to get back at it right now. Enough of Dora and all the rest of that stuff. Okay. I don't know why that little window's popping up again. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's because I am faster than all of the things I'm looking at right now. Okay. USB 52 bomber just departed Guam en route to South China Sea. Okay. This again is an update per eLint News. This could be important. U.S. Air Force B-52H bomber departed Andersen Air Force Base en route to South China Sea. The Chinese are not going to be happy about that development, and that's another situation that people who don't know the Lord could stress about. I'm not going to stress about that. I am not going to stress about that at all. We have the Syrian offensive to begin soon as Syrian Army's elite division heads to Daraa. I mean, we just got, look at all the tense stuff we had to look at here. Okay. Again, I'm looking right now also an IDF spokesperson. Nothing new has gone up over here. There was a video about Hamas and Hezbollah. Let's not even give them any press if we don't have to. I'm just checking a whole bunch of different things here. Now this is interesting. TAP alerts Pentagon declassified footage released of U.S. soldiers conducting training exercises during nuclear bomb test. This is a 15-second video. Let's see if we can get this. I don't know what we're going to see in 15 seconds, but I'm game if you are. Let's get a look at this. Okay. Pentagon declassified footage released of U.S. soldiers conducting training exercises during nuclear bomb test. Obviously something old. Something, okay, you can see it right here. Let's see if there's any audio on this. That's why I don't turn the audio off on my computer, because I would forget to turn it back on. Let's see what we've got here, okay? If there's any. Alright, let's start again. Doesn't appear to be any audio anyway. It appears to be just an image. You see that right there? You see that right there, folks? Right there. Right there. Look at that. This had to have been, I'm guessing, without pursuing the article, I'm guessing maybe around World War II era. Just again looking at this, but you see that nuclear explosion right there, and you see those forces running toward it. My gosh, why were they told to do that? Why were they told to do that? It just, I'm sure that every one of those soldiers died a slow, painful death, and not right away either. Okay, this is interesting here too. Saudi Arabia has sent 15 tons of food to residents in Gaza. The trucks loaded with them entered Gaza earlier today via one of the open passages. So again, interesting. Gaza, Israel, Gaza, all this potentially significant stuff about to go down. And just on a lark now, because I've got you all here and I want to keep you engaged, I'm going to go a little bit longer on this. Again, I was fully expecting, and I had a couple of conversations on Twitter earlier today with someone that might know a little something, maybe possibly, and we were expecting that something was going to go down. Maybe it will later, but I'm surprised it's not happening now, because it is later in that region of the woods. It's plenty dark now. Okay, what the heck is this? I want to see this right here. Breaking witnesses report an armed group is currently attacking National Guard station near Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Okay. This could be an interesting find. Let's see what we've got right here. This could be important in the overall scheme of things that we are discussing. Stand by. This puppy doesn't want to load. Stand by.
See a flag now. See a
Yeah, alright. One thing I'm going to do is close one
flag now.
I'm not going to look at it anymore.
No, you're ahead.
Okay, so it's kind of a grainy video anyway, but I think the point here, again, is this information. Okay, unconfirmed reports, here it is again, of an attack on a National Guard station in Taif City, Saudi Arabia. Again, that's Saudi National Guard. That's not U.S. National Guard, but still. Another tweet here, one security personnel killed after being stabbed by armored men in Al Taif City. So, who were these armored men? Who were they? And what was the goal here, other than maybe just causing mayhem and all manner of things like that? Okay. Let's look at this. Let's look at this right here. Okay, actually, we're not going to look at that. You're overlooking at my email right now. I can't, you know, I can't have you looking at that. That's my email. All right. Let me come back over here. Ooh, surprised myself. Got my my headphones on as my fashion accessory right there. You see that? See how styling I am with my headphones on? Yeah, I just walk around with these everywhere. Headphones just hanging right there. Yeah, they don't even really work. No. Let me check the chat, folks, and let me just check a couple things here in the internals. Again, I'm going to go a little while longer here. There's not... again, events I was expecting, and you hear me say that so often, have not gotten rolling yet, and oh, okay. You know, I get emails over my phone, and this is something that I didn't realize that I had a free listening period with Sirius XM radio, but it's over now. It's over. I'm disappointed. Not that I would listen to it, but because I don't want to pay for it. But there's that. Okay, Emily's in here. Diana Deal. That's a new face. Welcome aboard. Thank you. Nordic Sun. Nordic Sun. Situational awareness. Yes, I think you've mentioned that before, my friend. Situational awareness is physically and spiritually. Be aware. Be aware everywhere. Prayerful. You know, ask the Lord to guide you. Ask the Lord to dispatch His warrior angels to protect you. He will, especially us who are watching, at with the intensity that we are watching. We are definitely the enemy in the eyes of the world, and to change the subject, all those Acme products, all gone. Yeah, he had Acme everything, didn't he? He had Acme explosives. He had his anvil. You know, the anvil that always falls on top of him, clang, and hits him. First he spins down. Then there's a pause. Then you hear boom when he hits the ground at the bottom of the canyon, and then you see his anvil going down on top of him. Dang, you know, I just poor Wiley. One of these days, Wiley. You're every coyote gets his day. Remember that, folks. Every coyote gets his day. All right, so again, I'm going to try to Diana. Again, thank you. I'm trying to provide information, and I get a little distracted by silly stuff once in a while, and you have to forgive me. And I am very serious about this. This is not a joke, but yet I like to laugh. I can't help it. I do like to laugh. I try to find humor in everyday events in life. I try to laugh at things, no matter how serious or intense they are. If you're out there, folks, briefly, I'm going to stay with this just a little bit longer unless something interesting here pops up that keeps me going. I ran late last night talking about events in Syria, not Syria, but with Israel and the Gaza Strip, Hamas, Hezbollah. Last night we had rockets and mortars. We had equipment moving around carrying armored personnel carriers. We had Pierre Johnson in here, who knows a thing or two. We had some other guys in here. It was a good event that we had here last night, folks. Tonight, I think things are quieter and slower, at least. Of course, I also started a little later last night too. If you're out there, okay, I just want to make you aware. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'm posting news videos every day about all manner of news topics pertaining to Israel or America or wherever. Whatever is interesting news that could affect us directly, that's what I'm after. I am an indie news reporter. There is the link to my book down there, Light a Wayfarers Story, available in Kindle and paperback. If you're watching world events, especially where America is concerned, I think you're really going to like that. The Kindle's only $1.99. Paperback is $7.99. Okay, having said that, you can also, let me remind you, you can read Chapter 1 for free. There is a link down there to a free read of Chapter 1 on my website. Again, you know, it takes a little bit to get that thing opened up because I'm setting the stage for a lot of things, but you can get a small taste in Chapter 1. There is the super chat if you want to buy me, what were we talking about? Waffles, okay? Or if you want to support my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Okay, having done all that, let me jump back to the news. Okay, we don't need to see me or my internals there. Again, things are running a little slow right now. The stuff that I was waiting for, there's that waffle again right there, are not taking place. I was honestly expecting that by now we would have, again, and this is per a couple of messages I exchanged on Twitter earlier today, that we would have some manner of activity taking place in the Gaza Strip or Syria right now, which at this point in time is not happening. So maybe it's going to be a quiet night over there. Maybe tonight will be quiet, and tomorrow night they will be volleying back and forth. Let's check this quickly. Again, if it's all about Harvey Weinstein, I am not interested. I just don't. I don't care to pursue that type of information. It's not the kind of news I'm going to report. Let's see. All right, not that either. You know, again, it must be I'm too early. I'm just too early tonight. Harvey Weinstein. No, that's not breaking news. That's not breaking news. I can't stand. Okay, well, this is interesting. Okay, this dovetails out of something we were talking about earlier, and it blew by so quickly. If I can find it again, my gosh, because information is posting here probably. 2 to 3. Steve Owensborg from WBTV. Water continues to rise in Lake James. All the runoff from McDowell could put it 5 feet above full pond, says Duke. This is Linville access area. So again, this is near that area where we had that evacuation issued and then rescinded in North Carolina. You can see right there, you can see that the water out of Lake James has spilled out into a parking lot. It looks like a boat launch area. Probably people go put their boats in there when they go out to fish for bass. If it's North Carolina, they might have some big largemouth bass there. And they put those boats in and they go out and they catch them. And sometimes some guys will even kiss their bass before they release them. I'm not kidding. There's a professional fisherman, I can't think of his name now, but he would kiss bass before he'd release them. I'm not going to kiss a fish. I just don't think that's sanitary, especially in some of the places I fish. I wouldn't want to kiss the fish. All right, folks, I'm going to check this one more time again. This is another situation. This had me thinking that we were on the verge of something here. Developing Israeli warplane reportedly flying along Syrian-Lebanese border. This is from a few hours ago. Again, it would make me think that maybe they were scouting out an area. Maybe they were surveilling. They were doing recon of some kind in preparation for another exchange. And again, this situation, when you're talking about Israel, you're talking about God's prophetic timepiece. You're talking about the apple of God's eye. Israel, hated by the whole world. Jews, hated by the whole world. Israel, blamed. Anything that Israel is involved in, it's their fault. Okay? Anything that goes... When there's a military engagement with Israel, no matter what the reason, it's Israel's fault. Israel started it according to the world. Israel can do nothing right. That's how the world sees Israel. God sees it much differently. Just like God sees you and I probably much differently than we sometimes maybe see ourselves or how we may see other people. God sees people differently than we see them. God sees Israel differently than the world sees it. And God will bless those who bless her and curse those who curse her. So, having said all that, was expecting something to take place here. Thus far, it has not done so. Again, I've got the sources that put the stuff up that are right there, and again, it's nothing Nothing new has gone up. So with all of that, I'm going to bounce over to the social side here again. 1 second, please, and then I'm gonna pop in on you folks. And again, I think I'm regretting I didn't start this a little later in the evening, but part of it is because honestly, I am dog tired and I don't want to make it a late night tonight. Ria Patriots, welcome aboard. There was that Russian reporter that faked his death. That evidently was dead in Ukraine, and now he's not. He's back alive. Turkey is broke, so I don't know how they're going to pay Russia for those jets, because Turkey's broke, and Turkey's economy, like Italy's economy, may be on the verge of collapse. Coyotes are pack hunters, and Wiley he operates by himself. So maybe that's Wiley's problem all gone. He needs a pack. He needs a pack. He needs a posse. Wiley needs a posse to hang with him. He's going to hang with his posse. Maybe he'll have more success. So shout outs to Ria Patriots, Rise Up, Emily Hutjes. Emily, if I mispronounce your last name, please forgive me. I appreciate you. You're just like so many of these folks. You're here all the time with me lately. Nordic Sun. Thank you for being there. Thank you for reminding us about maintaining our situational awareness and utilizing the protection that God provides us willingly, freely. He wants us to seek His protection, and He will give it to us. All gone. Welcome aboard, my friend. Always good to see you. Nordic Sun, Amy C. Nordic Sun, I mentioned you twice. Again, I'm just running up the list. Old School Warrior, if you were still out there, again, I thank you for the eggs. I thank you for the gears. I thank Amy for the pancakes. You folks are. I just appreciate you so much. But I'm thinking because things are so slow here that things I have this terrible fear that I'm going to bug out of this too early, and I'm going to miss something significant. And with that already, let's see what we've got right here. Okay. Young Bond remains active even amid U.S. North Korean talks about denuclearization. So North Korea's Yongbyon Nuclear Research Center is still active. That should be a surprise to no one. North Korea, I don't even know what to think of that situation anymore, folks. I just, more and more, it's just a dang distraction from something else. I'm gonna check this one more time here, and then just to see. Again, I just have this terrible fear. I am in here too early. Look, there's Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian. Unless that was photoshopped. I know she was there at the White House today. The most awesome photo ever has been taken. That's Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump. All right, okay. I guess I'm ambivalent about that. But again, Hawaii's Kilauea volcano eruption with fast-moving lava danger warning. Okay, and again, we were talking about that earlier. The Leilani Estates area is being warned to evacuate because we have that fast-moving lava. That situation just will not quit there. Okay, now let's take a look at this. This could be of interest. Again, not related to what we've been talking about, folks, but being that I'm right here, right now, let's see what we have here. Developing reports of downed plane near Oklahoma City. Well, let's see what manner of plane we are dealing with. Officials were responding to reports of a downed aircraft near Oklahoma City Wednesday. According to Oklahoma Highway Patrol, the scene is near Manning Road and Memorial Road. Now, here's a map. We like maps. This is a satellite map. And I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. Okay, so unless it's I guess in close proximity to El Reno, Oklahoma, North Manning Road. If you're familiar, it was unclear what type of plane was involved. I'm guessing it was probably a single engine, maybe a turboprop. But the point being, and I'm no expert on planes. I know that planes fly. That I'm familiar with. Probably a smallish plane, probably not an airliner or anything of that magnitude, probably not a military plane, but then again, maybe. So we have that, and one last look here before I move on. Alrighty, what do we got here? U.S. Okay, Secretary of State Pompeo and senior North Korean official begin meeting. Okay, so again, this on again, off again summit. Well, now we have Secretary of State Pompeo and senior North Korean official beginning a meeting. Okay, now this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Again, if this is I don't know who Devin is, but this is okay. Devin, who are you? Stop moving on me, Devin. I monitor fire-related things, geopolitical-related things, and military-related things. So do I, brother. Breaking, it appears Israel may be preparing to invade Gaza. Now, you see, this is what I've been expecting. I've heard from other sources that the IDF has been moving assets, and I've been saying that, onto the border with Gaza. Maybe you heard Emily say that, too, or read Emily say that. Okay, so, again, is this... Are we about to have things heat up over there again tonight? See, when I see this, I think, oh, nuts, I got to stay with this a while longer. Here we go. I have to, I can't go to bed. I have to stay with this. Doggone it. But you know what? Honestly, folks, this is what I do. I cover this stuff. So, let's close this. And let's close this. I think we don't need to talk about those anymore. Again, Instant Reporter strives to provide you with the latest breaking news around the world. I've never heard of you, Instant Reporter. Israel's preparing to invade Gaza. Reports of hundreds of tanks, APCs, and trucks en route to Gaza border. Okay, that was 7 hours ago. That was 7 hours ago, friend. Again, but that was earlier today. Now, our friend that we just saw that from, I got the impression that it was something that was current as of right now. But again, 7 hours ago, moving into the area, so maybe we're minutes or hours away from another volley. I don't know. Am I going to stay up and wait for it? Probably not. But if I miss it, then... I'm going to start breaking things down here, folks. Let me pop back over to you, my friends. Again, I am fighting fatigue. I am fighting a little bit of hunger. All things that are going to be taken care of in due course. So again, shout-outs to All Gone, Nordic Sun, Emily, Hughes. I know Squelch was in there. Amy C is in there. Shout-outs to all of you. Again, I build this as an old school warrior. Oh my gosh, again, I enjoy. I have to act like Dabu or AMTV. I can only act like me. I am who I am, as Popeye would say. I am so I am, and that's all that I am. Okay, I am who I am. And I'm not Dabu. Dabu is terrific. I am a fan of Dabu. I like what Chris does in AMTV. I used to watch a lot of his stuff. I'm a fan of those two guys. But I am me, and I do it my way. Yeah, see, I can do Frank Sinatra for you too. So with that, it looks like. We are kind of hitting a quiet time right here. So, anybody before I go, act like Jim always. I mean, for better or for worse, I act like Jim. I mean, that's who I am. And I'm not the other guys, and nor I'm sure they don't want to be me either. So there we go. It looks like the news is pretty much slow at the moment. So with that, I mean, I just again, we were discussing last night, and it's I'm going to hang on another couple of minutes, but I'm feeling the craving for at least a bowl of Apple Jacks, if not something more substantial. and a nighty night, because I've been sleeping like garbage lately. My mind doesn't shut down. I'm uncomfortable. You know, I have a lot of folks around here that like to blow off fireworks all summer long at night. I don't think they have much to do other than blow off fireworks, but, you know, I guess I just don't know how to have fun. I guess my problem is I don't know how to have fun. I live in an area where people like to have fun, and I don't have fun. I don't belong here. I belong probably in an old folks' home, but again, be prayerful for everybody. You know, it seems like so often when I do these live streams, there's a core group of you that are always there. All Gone, and Amy, and Emily, and Old School Warrior. Barf 245, where are you tonight, Barf 245? I hoped you would be there. You know, I had some guys in here last night, and one of them I was expecting tonight, and he hasn't appeared. But you know, we had some good information being slung around in here last night, and be prayerful for each other. Be prayerful. Be careful. Remember that you could say that we all gather here for a reason. This just isn't by design. And Squelch, thank you for the pizza. Oh my gosh, that's it. I want pizza. I want pizza. That's what I want. Am I going to have pizza right before bed? Probably not. But Squelch, I'm going to take that piece of pizza and wrap it up in some foil and put it in the fridge, okay? And I'll microwave it for tomorrow. Paul Shearer, welcome aboard. Okay, that's an interesting point. Iran's underground bases in Syria were destroyed by Israel. The retaliation is over for now. We did have a lot of activity last night, and again, there has been staging and moving around of assets. And knowing that Israel is always in danger. Israel is always in danger from Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran. Hamas and Hezbollah are basically Iran's proxies. I think we're in for a long ride as far as that goes. But yes, Paul, to your point, Israel did a lot of damage to those underground bases. They did a lot of striking. And welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you. You're catching me at the tail end of this thing right now. But subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, folks. Continue to be prayerful. Continue to be praying for each other, praying for protection, situational awareness, as Nordic Sun always says. We are fighting the good fight. We are fighting a good fight right now, and it's a hard fight. It's a very hard fight, but we're going to get through this. And it's a supernatural battle. We are fighting more than anything else. A supernatural battle. Powers, principalities, rulers of dark places, spiritual warfare. It is. We're seeing more and more signs of physical warfare. Well, we have proxy wars taking place. You could say again, we have a proxy war between U.S. and Russia in Syria. We are embroiled in a hot spiritual warfare right now. Well, you know, Amy, Bible study is important to get to, and that's maybe more important than being here. It'll go relax. It'll be there when I wake up. Yes, I like to be there when things happen. Again, I feel like it's part of my responsibility. But folks, with that, I want to thank you all. You are truly a wonderful group. And those of you who may be out watching the live stream who have not appeared in the chat, I want to thank you for watching. Again, I touched upon a bunch of things, looked at a bunch of news sources, but it seems like things are quiet-ish right now, unless you're interested in Harvey Weinstein, which I am not. And I'm not interested in Kim Kardashian being at the White House. I'm not interested in Roseanne. Those are things that, are probably important to a lot of people. They're not important to me. Maybe they're not important to you either. So one final time, Squelch, shout-outs to you. Paul Shearer, shout-outs to you, my friend. Amy C., shout-outs to you. Rhea Patriots, shout-outs. Emily, shout-outs. Nordic Sun, shout-outs. Old School Warrior, shout-outs. All Gone. All Gone, you just got a chronic shout-out, okay? Do I need to shout you out anymore? You have a permanent shout-out. Most of you, probably all of you now at this point, you just have a permanent shout-out, and my gratitude for being there. Because I truly appreciate you. And boy, that pizza Squelch. Squelch. I like that, squelch. All right, folks. You know, next live stream, what I think I'm going to do, and I wanted to do it tonight and I forgot to. There's a site that you can listen to shortwave radio. Okay, it's a site out of Norway, I think it is, and it's a site that I used to visit quite a bit. I'm gonna have that open in the next live stream I do, because we'll get to hear some communications from Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. You'll get to hear the comms out to the ships, Alpha, Tango, Foxtrot. You pick up some very interesting things, and I'm going to say this before I go, on shortwave radio. And we may reach a point very soon where shortwave radio may be very important to us. I'm going to have that open, so maybe we can pop in and listen to a couple of things. I mean, you pick up on shortwave, you're picking up AM, you're picking up FM, you're picking up shortwave, UBS, all kinds of things. You're picking up pirate radio stations playing music. Again, because I love radio. And Emily, that's a good point. I think you're all telling me to go to bed, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, next time we're going to also be listening to some shortwave radio. I'm not going to live stream every day, folks. I mean, I've live streamed a number of days in a row, but live streaming is not going to be an everyday thing, but it will be a consistent thing, and it will be based too on breaking news. If something breaks that I feel like I got to cover, I'm going to live stream. God bless you all. God bless you all. Good night, and I will see you very soon.